Everyone, welcome to the July 6th, 7th. What's today? Today's 6th, sorry. July 6th meeting of the Symmes Township Trustees. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, thank you for a wonderful 4th of July and a wonderful start to the summer. Please watch over our township residents and businesses. Please watch over our township administration and public works departments. Please watch over our fire and police and all of the armed forces who are watching over us around the world. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Beck.
Here.
Ms. Leese.
Here.
Mr. Bryant. Here.
I move approval of the agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Leese.
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye. I move approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes June 6th, 2023, and special meeting minutes June 6th, 2023.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Ms. Leese.
Aye.
Fiscal officers report.
Our checking account balance as of June 30th was $8,353,914.91. Our HRA account balance is $8,397.79. I don't have the report for meter for the past month, so I can't give you that tonight. Our revenue to date is $5,745,834.81. Revenue budgeted $11,951,159.86. Appropriations for 2023, $16,101,617.29. Expenditures to date, $5,061,855.96. And payments that were made in June total $1,235,513.27. Our major fund balances: general fund $2,906,462.21. The park levy $538,732.71. The Rossi Park levy $469,911.31. Police levy $1,174,536.24. The fire levy $633,520.38. The road levy $561,555.01. Safety services levy $3,629,300.64. ARP fund $1,173,722.86. and the tax increment financing fund $2,843,127.90. A past resolution called for moving $2 million out of the checking fund into the meter investment fund. And when I contacted Fifth Third Bank about moving the money, I wanted to know how we could move it, that we did not incur any cost in moving it to the township. And the bank wanted to know why I wanted to move $2 million. And I said, because we are making nothing on it in that checking account. And the representative who I deal with said, can you give me a couple of days and hold off on that till I get back with you? And I said, certainly. I said, if you can do something good for us, I'm more than willing to listen. The offer they came back with was twofold. we have with our checking account an earning credit rate of, I think it was 0.69%. It's the rate of earnings that pays off all our bank costs in dealing with that account. And it takes a balance of about $2.5 million in that account to generate enough money at that interest rate to pay all our bank fees for the year. The bank will raise that to 1%, nearly doubling, and it requires us to only maintain $1.25 million in that account to pay all our bank fees. So that was a plus. And then on the entire account over and above that amount, they would pay us 4.75% on the money in that checking account, tied to the Fed rate, which 0.5% less than the Fed rate, which was at 5.25% when they proposed this to me. So we would earn 4.75% interest on that $7 million account. That's far and above the interest rate earnings we're making on the money that we have in our meter account. Last year, the meter account generated around 1% on $8 million plus dollars. When you subtract out the fees it cost us to maintain that account, we earned a net of about $82,000. And our checking account earned us basically nothing. So we would go from, now meter last year generated 82, which was about $6,800 a month. The average per month this year is up more, so if it holds through the year, we'll make a little bit more. But it still won't compare with 4.75% that Fifth Third is willing to offer us. So the decision, I sent out emails advising the trustees and the members of the Finance and Audit Committee, explaining what Fifth Third is proposing. Everybody is in agreement that if there's no downside, we should certainly be generating as much money as we can by that kind of a deal. Our current checking account has already been moved to those figures. It didn't require anything on our part. It just required the bank increasing what they're paying us on the account. And so the $7+ million that we have in the Fifth Third checking account will generate about $330,000 a year. And I'm doing nothing except tying it to that Fed rate. It will float with the Fed rate. The funds are guaranteed under the there's an Ohio fund that collateralizes municipalities' monies. So we're not risking the money in any way. And the only thing we have to make a decision on is whether or not to transfer the funds that are in the meter account to this checking account that pays 4.75%. And coincidentally, the reports I got from the bank today is they think the Fed's going to raise the rate twice more this year, 0.25% each time. And if they do that, that gives us an extra 0.5% earnings on those millions that are in there. So it's good for us. Of course, if the rates drop, our earnings will drop too. But the money in there is totally liquid. We can take it out at any time. We can invest it anywhere we want to. We're not tied to that in any way whatsoever. So the decision we have to make now is, do we do the same thing with the meter account? We can't do it immediately all at once because those investments are staged over a number of years on different, usually municipal bonds, and they mature at different times, 25, 26, 27. What I asked for, and I'll have the analysis sometime in the next month, is I want to know what's the penalty for cashing out those early, and do we make more money over the same period of time? Even if we have a penalty, does the earnings at 4.75% exceed the penalty? If it exceeds the penalty, then we're not losing anything by doing that. But I need to see those figures before I can share them with everybody and we make a decision. So that's where we are on our accounts right now.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Are we going to talk more about this under the regular agenda, or we have a discussion now?
There,
We have it under our agenda.
It's under our agenda, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah, we have it.
Resolution 79.
Okay. I can wait.
And I can explain when that comes up,
Okay.
why I think we should move the management of it currently. Okay?
Joe, thank you for looking into that.
Yep.
Thanks for taking the time and doing the research. I hope you decide to run for fiscal officer this year. We're lucky to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate
I
that.
think you are running, correct? Yes. Yes.
If he ever gets his petitions in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If he ever gets your petitions in.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I move to approve the fiscal officer's report.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Bryan.
Aye.
No presentations, no public hearings. I move approval of disbursements warrants 82851 to 83186 and vouchers 301 to 366, totaling $1,235,513.27.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Bryan,
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye. Reports, Law Director.
Thank you. No report tonight.
Okay. Police?
Just one quick thing. In early June, I think the week of the 12th, the Sheriff's Office and the International Association of Chief of Police hosted a conference on preventing human trafficking. It was our organized crime unit and the IACP. We used the facility downstairs of the Safety Center, so I just wanted to thank the Township for letting us use that. Everyone had really nice things to say, and I wanted to thank Mr. Pittman and Ray Williams for helping them get everything organized and set up. They really went above and beyond, so thanks to everyone.
Great.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
How are things over 4th of July, township-wise, from a safety standpoint?
Really good. We had some questions about the new fireworks statutes, but most of them were answered, and it sounds like pretty much everyone shut down at 11 o'clock when they were supposed to. So no safety issues.
Good. Glad to hear that. Fire.
We had nothing more to add.
Did you all witness things under control on July
They
4th?
partake in it.
It was pretty calm.
Yeah, good. No brush fires? Thank goodness.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bill, Director of Public Works.
Nothing.
Okay. Any committees? None? No other?
I would just want to mention something on other. Symmes Township is partaking in Plastic-Free July. We join a lot of the aquariums and zoos and other communities that try to not use single-use plastics for the month of July. I know, I saw that, Ken. By 2050, they're saying there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than there are animals, so we're trying to do our part to deter using single-use plastics. So please join us and not use single-use plastics for the month of July.
I'll recycle that in August.
Okay, there you go.
Good. Thank you, Jody.
You're welcome.
Hearing from residents. No takers? All right. Correspondence is attached to the meeting minutes. Events and meetings coming up. The Zoning Commission meeting Wednesday, July 19th, 2023, 7 p.m. here at the Administration Building. Story time with the library, Friday, July 21st, 2023, from 10 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. at Symmes Park. The next regular trustees meeting, Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, 7 p.m. here at the administration. And the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, Monday, August 7th at 7 p.m. here at the administration building. No old business. We go right into new business. First item, discussion concerning suggested event list for the bicentennial.
Ken, did you ask for this to be put on? Did you ask for this to be put on?
No, I think they just went ahead and put it on. I'd phoned in a couple more suggestions.
Thank you.
One of which was a music program, which they already said they had something on there, which they've spoken to in the staff report. I also thought maybe we would resurrect movies in the park or something during the month of July or something,
Well,
just for consideration.
I spoke with Luann about the movies in the park, and I know that we're trying to do a little event in every park or area that we have to get involved, our communities, you know, the little communities. And she did suggest that maybe we could do a movie in the park at Hopewell because of that open area. And we can make sure we get the invite out, because I don't think in our past movie nights that we quite, I mean, we'd be lucky to have 60 people, if that.
Well, I
So-
think if we could get some near first runs, like
Well, we
Mario
did.
Brothers or
We-
Maverick.
We did first runs. I mean, we you know, it was like Big Hero 6, and that one just came out and
Yeah.
things like that, and they were pretty successful movies. It's just that we're competing with like the bigger communities that have more events attached to the movie.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I'll read this. Is this about our events?
Is that-
Because
Yeah, they-
oh,
what's
yeah,
here on
we-
this
I
staff
attended
report?
this meeting.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Oh.
I just don't have my glasses on. Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. We talked about it.
So right now, it's just a kind of a list of
Well,
possibilities.
what's in the package that we got sent was actually had dates and things in here for, I didn't know how much got culled out of that list and put into this kind of form, but, and I also read the staff report that basically said something about bare naked ladies or naked karate girls or something like that.
No.
If we can't get those for reasonable prices, I'd like to offer up some alternatives.
Well, I was at Zoolala this year, and they had the best band. I have to remember it. But they were phenomenal. And I'm like, oh, we totally got to get this band for next year. And actually, they had a couple hit songs out, but now they're older and they're retired, and they just kind of do the circuit around here. And so, Three Water Revival? Clearwater?
Clearwater,
Yeah. Clearwater.
I think I've
Revival.
heard of something
Yeah.
similar in name. I don't
So
know if
I
that's
think we should
exactly
look into
it.
them, because they were fabulous.
Okay, but one of the things you might want to consider is if you can't get something for a decent price, and you don't want to spend $100,000 for somebody to come in here and do one night stand, you might want to try something like Neil Diamond Tribute Band, which is out of Blue Ash. They've been at Blue Ash festivals before, and I think it's all ages. I mean, kids, you know, more than just one particular thing. I'm not saying to pick them, I'm saying to consider it.
Clearwater Revival. They were good.
Okay. But just
Good.
put it on the list for
Yeah,
reaching
we'll
out
see
to
how
and
much
find
it
out
is.
if
Yeah.
you don't even know if they're available and how much it's gonna cost and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So just put as many on the list as you can and get the information.
Do we want to consider another wine tasting or no?
Well, I like the idea of a wine tasting, but I kind of like the idea at each park, like Camp Dennison, it would be a heritage festival
Right.
because they're historical. You know, we would do the new opening of Hopewell.
See that?
We would.
You mean Blom?
Blom, I'm sorry, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a great
Little.
idea.
And move them each park and do little things in
Yeah.
each park.
It fits with our passport
can-
kind of concept too.
Yeah, like Mead is a farm day, which is a great idea because it's kind of farmy.
Mhm.
Yeah, but a wine, I mean, we could do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do it at my house.
Yeah.
You guys bring the wine.
Okay. So any further input, we need to, I think, funnel that back to, I guess, Kim and Luann? Are they the coordinators, or Kelly?
Kelly, Kim.
Kelly is-
And, yeah.
Kelly, Kim.
And then they're discussing
Okay.
it with Kim.
Okay, good. Next,
I see progress.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fun stuff. It'll be a fun year for Symmes Township.
So the next item, I move approval of Resolution G 2023-73, resolution approving the submittal of the annual tax budget for fiscal year 2024 to the County Budget Commission.
Second?
Discussion.
We already had the public hearing on that and so on, so it's just a matter of formality, and that we have to put it out in resolution form. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 2023-74, resolution authorizing the purchase of a lawnmower for the Service Department from Koenig Equipment in the amount of $11,675.
Second?
Jody got it?
Doesn't matter.
Discussion.
Bill?
Bill, you really want this?
Is that,
We had one expire on this.
okay.
Oh. And it's not fixable?
Didn't,
It's a 2012 model, so. it's
Didn't we-
not good money.
didn't we just, I don't know. I'm confused.
We added one.
This is the addition.
No, we already added additional.
Ah, that's the one I remember signing the check for. So.
This one didn't. This one
Okay, so this, you're asking for another one as a replacement?
didn't replace it.
Okay, got it. Okay. Is this a John Deere?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 2023-75, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a contract with Medical Mutual of Ohio for providing health insurance coverage for the elected officials and full-time employees of Symmes Township.
Second?
Discussion.
One question I had, when talking about everything that we're looking at, all the options that were spelled out before us, were all an increase in costs. Is part of that increase in cost due to increase in number of employees?
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Because we do have one additional, so there's a little bit of increase.
What, don't we have an overlap with the second one?
Just that is the one.
That's the only one?
One.
Okay, so we're down 2 and then up 3 is what you're saying? Okay. Okay. All right.
So we looked at, our current is Medical Mutual. We looked at, we checked them. We looked at Anthem. We looked at Aetna. And we looked at United Healthcare. And Medical Mutual was the least expensive.
To re-up with the same kind of plan, even though it's an increase, was a lesser total cost. That's what I saw in the 4 options that were studied.
Yes.
Okay.
So the proposal is to keep with Medical Mutual. Okay, any other discussion?
I guess all in favor of option 1, which is Medical Mutual,
Well,
right?
it's the ugly one versus the uglier one versus
Right.
the ugliest one.
Okay,
And that's how the resolution is written.
okay.
Yeah. So we got a resolution, a
amendment
second.
shall-
Ready to vote?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Beck?
Aye. I move approval of Resolution G 2023-76, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a joint agreement between Hamilton County and the Board of Township Trustees of Symmes Township for the installation of a traffic signal preemption system on Loveland Madeira Road.
Second?
Discussion.
Yeah, I would like to understand the difference between 76 and 78. There's 2 resolutions out there that look remarkably alike.
One is with
One's with ODOT. one's with
Hamilton
Oregon.
County, yeah, and the other's ODOT.
Oh,
So
so
these
we have to
three-
get an agreement with both
Correct.
because it's on a state or federal highway.
Should-
So R is included.
What?
yeah.
Yeah, Level Madeira, three of
Okay.
those intersections are ODOT intersections.
Yes.
The rest are Hamilton County.
Okay, all
Off the-
right, thank you.
off
Appreciate that clarification because
I had the same question.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution 2023-77, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a natural gas aggregation agreement with a natural gas supplier as recommended by Energy Alliances, Inc., provided that the accepted aggregation rate is below the current contracted rate at the time of execution for a period not to exceed 36 months.
Second, go ahead.
You got it, Joe.
Second. I know that's your
Discussion.
expertise.
No.
No.
So it's time to re-up?
Yeah.
Forget.
They've put
Well,
us
that
off
was, that was
for
a
so
question.
long.
Do you know when our current contract runs out? Is it this year, December?
I was thinking it's this year, but
Okay, so they're asking for advance permission to negotiate something, and I like the way it's phrased here, at an accepted aggregation rate below the current contracted rate. I like the way
Yes.
that's phrased.
Yeah, Kim and I spoke about this, and it was drafted that way on purpose, really, so that you can authorize it, and then it would give them the most flexibility to
Right.
see when the appropriate rate comes in. That way, we wouldn't have to rush back, have a special meeting for any special approval. So as long
Okay.
as it's under that contract rate, she'll have the authorization to execute that.
Okay, nice job.
Good. All finished? Roll call?
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 2023-78, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a joint agreement between the Ohio Department of Transportation and the Board of Township Trustees of Symmes Township for the installation of a traffic signal preemption system on Montgomery and Loveland Madeira roads.
Second.
Discussion. We covered this before? Okay. Roll call?
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye. I'm going to go ahead and read this next one, but we might have a little word change. So I'll move approval of Resolution G 2023-79, resolution approving the transfer of $8,293,264.27 from the meter public funds account at U.S. Bank to Fifth Third Bank to be, it's stated to be invested, but we'd like to modify that to managed and invested.
Second.
And that'll be phased.
Well, the reason,
We need a
and
discussion.
if you want to table this until we get all the information back on the analysis of the various investments, that's fine. But my idea on having Fifth Third manage it is, until we get these changes occurred, is as each bond matures or as we decide to cash in early on any bond, we're at the
Okay.
place where it's going to be moved immediately to our checking account. I don't know how to arrange oversight over meter when different things become matured, unless they have to, and they don't have to come to us right now that I know of, on what they do with reinvesting that money. As it matures, I want to see the money go into an account that's earning us 4.75%.
Well, you'd also like the option of whether you want to renew or not.
You'd what?
You would like the option of whether you even wanted to renew with them or not.
Yes.
On each of the bonds as they
Yes.
come due.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
to
if
me,
that's not in there now, it should be.
yeah, to me, to move the whole management from over to Fifth Third Bank, that's what this would do.
All right.
you have authority to move it. Now, if you want to wait till I get all that information and then move it, I'm okay with that.
Well, there's another question here. You're specifying a certain amount of money, and that money is going to change, isn't it, over time? It's $8,293,264 in some sense. Won't that
Well,
change?
Well, it could change on a daily basis.
That's what I mean. So you're specifically saying this.
Yeah. Well, then you just have to name the entire meter account.
Yeah.
The current value at the time of movement, or something like that.
We could rephrase this in a comeback when he gets more information, what I would suggest.
Yeah, well, if you're inclined to table it tonight, then, yeah, we can
Tweak it any which way.
We can rephrase that, because that's probably the number
Yeah.
that it was
Last month.
when it was drafted.
Yeah.
Right.
And it would likely be a different amount, so we
Right.
can rephrase it to be if the theory is you want to move the entire balance.
Well,
Yeah.
if it were liquid, I would want to prove this tonight and move it immediately.
Yeah.
But it's not. You know, there's
Yep.
maybe $100,000 or less than that that's liquid that you could move immediately. The rest, you have to close out the investments.
Right.
So we can't do anything with the whole amount immediately anyhow.
Right.
So that's fine to wait until,
Well, I guess I'd like to move the table.
Second. Roll call?
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
So hopefully we'll bring this up in the August meeting. Is that the intent?
Yeah, well, I talked to the bank today, and they're going to give me the information I requested probably a week before the next meeting, hopefully. So I should have all that information to share.
Okay. Okay, next item. I move approval of Resolution G2023-80, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into an agreement with J.K. Muir Corporation to repair and repave the tennis and basketball courts at Hopewell Meadows Park in the amount of $88,825, and playground equipment services to purchase 2 portable nets for pickleball in the amount of $4,636.
Second?
Discussion.
Aye. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jody.
So I have a question. So I didn't look at the basketball court. Does the basketball court need it? Okay. And then 2 portable nets for pickleball, where are they going to go?
Crossways, I guess.
That's what we talked about, excuse me, is Hopewell having 1 court tennis, dedicated tennis, 1 court dedicated pickleball.
So they'll
So
have
you-
2 pickleball
Yes.
courts
So you'd
and
leave
then
the
1.
current tennis net there, but put the 2 portable pickleball courts on that side. So you'd have 2.
Crossways.
Yeah, you'd have 2 pickleball courts on that side.
So
Would-
you'd have, go ahead.
Would you have a fence between the pickleball and the?
No, it'd be just the same as it is with tennis now.
Okay,
It's open because you're
right,
parallel to each other.
okay,
And that's the way that
Except
a
they'd
lot
then
of
be
them.
perpendicular.
okay.
Is that what you're saying? Or you've got, where they are all parallel to each
They're all
other?
parallel.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Okay,
So it'd
that
be-
makes sense.
You just take half of the tennis court,
Yeah.
that'd be 1 pickleball
So everyone's
court.
hitting the ball this
Yeah, everybody's
same
hitting the same
direction,
direction.
theoretically, yeah.
And that's what they're doing with a lot of them now. So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's only 1 pickleball court?
there'll be 2 pickleball
2.
courts.
Oh, okay.
1 on each side, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I get it. Okay,
So
I get it
if
now.
you decided that you wanted to play tennis,
So-
you could actually move those out and have another tennis court, but
Yeah, but
as
that
popular
net-
as pickleball is.
The net looks pretty bad.
Right.
Okay, we'll fix the net.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
They reset, when they pave the tennis court, they'll reset the post, put new net and everything.
And how long before that's done? Do we know?
I'll have to find out once it's approved where we fall on the schedule, but it'll be done this year.
It'll be done this year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And that's all coming from Park Fund?
Yes.
So when it says 2 portable nets, how portable are they? Does it
They're-
mean someone could swipe them?
No, they're portable to where you can move them, but it would almost be impossible to get them out of the tennis courts.
You would move
Straight-
them, not me. I mean,
Right.
as a resident.
Right, no,
Yeah.
you wouldn't, no, they'd be locked in place.
So they're they sink into something in the
They're
ground?
actually locked in with wheels, to where if you had to move them, you unlock the wheels and move them over to the
Oh,
side.
okay. And why would you do that? Just to
If you
convert
wanted to
it
use
back
that
to
as
tennis?
back to a tennis court, yeah.
I see.
Would we want to move it back to a tennis court? I mean, would people want it, I don't know if we should give them that option, but I guess that's something, I mean, I'd hate to see them moving around the nets, ripping the nets. You know how people are.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think, seeing how everybody else is doing, I don't think we have a problem. Deerfield's gonna do the same thing,
They have the same,
yes.
okay.
Pickleball's extremely popular, as you well know.
Oh, yeah. I play pickleball, and in it, there's like 9 courts, and it's like constant people. I mean, you know, and there are 4 on each court. And it's packed. Yeah.
I just wondered, do we really want the wheels, or do we want to just go all out and just countersink
Commit.
it into the
I
ground?
think we should do this for now, and then if we decide to make them permanent, then we can have that option of making them
I just
permanent
think we
later.
make them permanent.
I don't know.
And did we get some other
Yes.
competing prices?
Yes.
Okay.
This was the best price for actually, because this was the best price for actually repaving. Everybody else was just repairing and recoating. This was actually, for the tennis is repave, the basketball is recoat because it's not as bad. The basketball court just needs to be cleaned up and some maintenance done to it.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
I move approval of the following expenditures and authorization for the township administrator to sign any necessary contracts, agreements, or paperwork. A, expenditures $5,136.95, Team All Sports for the improvements to Symmes Park baseball field. B, expenditures $5,850, Insight Hamilton County Sheriff's Office for the installation of the flock cameras.
Second.
Discussion.
How much is Symmes Park baseball field used? Is it softball?
Now it's being used more
Oh, yeah.
than it ever has.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it used to just be softball and
That's
maybe
why I asked,
maybe some
because
t-ball, but now it's a lot
I
of
thought it was
select teams-
underutilized before.
A lot of the select teams are using them for practice, and
Okay,
it's getting a lot of use.
okay.
I just want to make a comment. I did the 3-park walk on 4th of July. I must have seen 150 people. I mean, it was packed. Like, everybody was walking. They were walking their dogs. They were playing in the park. I mean, this was like morning time. It was, I mean, there was a lot of people. I'm glad they're using our parks. Glad they're enjoying everything.
Good. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Next item, I move we go into executive session per ORC Section 121.22 G1 to consider the compensation and employment of a public employee or official.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Lees?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Beck?
Aye. And I don't think we're going to have action after this, so we're good.